What's cracking, guys? Bruce Matson here, your host of the show of Metric Scout Fantasy Football. And as you know, I'm always trying to find those deals for you in Dynasty. I'm scraping through the ADP. I'm scraping through the mock drafts. I'm just trying to find those diamonds in the rough, trying to help you guys out. And sometimes those diamonds come in the comment section of these videos, and they've happened a few times, especially this player I'm talking about today. He's the wide receiver 71 in Dynasty ADP over at DLF, being drafted at 161 overall. So draft range, being drafted around somewhere between the 12th and 15th round, depending on your league, depending on how he's being valued. Since 2018, he's had 15 games where he was the wide receiver 3 or better in production. In the last 2 seasons, he's posted 150 or more PPR fantasy points. In both those years, he's had a 16% target share, 986 air yards last year, almost to 1,000, 11.7 average depth of target, and he's getting a quarterback upgrade. Some of you guys have been watching the show who's been hitting me up in the comments have mentioned this guy before, and you know who I'm hitting at, and you know who I'm about to talk about because you've been saying, hey, he's my buy, he's my guy. And you know what? I got to talk about him today, and it's no other than the Denver Broncos wide receiver, Tim Patrick. Go over to DLF's Trade Finder, and you'll notice that he's being traded for a song in a lot of leagues. 4th round rookie picks, sometimes less than that. I'm talking about waiver wire money. 5th round rookie picks. He is going for free. The trade market's where you can get him at the cheapest. Maybe not in all leagues. Maybe not every manager's going to be giving them away. But there are multiple trades on the Trade Finder app through MFL that he's been traded for a 4th. Sometimes less than that. And those are deals I want to strike on. This year's rookie draft isn't glorious. It isn't sexy. Once we get to the 4th round, there isn't really much there. So if you don't have many prospects you like, you may want to take your shot over at Tim Patrick. Like I said, he had 11.7 average at the target. That means he can get downfield. That means this offense likes to get him downfield, get him those deep targets, and we have Russ here to cook. Old Russell Wilson. You know they want him to sling the rock. Noah Fant's gone. Jerry Jeudy should be healthy this year, so there should be some competition there. But those deep balls, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick, those are going to be there. Russell Wilson's going to push it downfield a bit, and the higher acuity of targets going all throughout the offense is going to rise everybody up, or at least it should be. We're projecting that. I'm not the only person in the world doing that. Timmy Air Yards is here to give us some spike weeks, and that's all we want right now. Spike weeks from a wide receiver 71 in Dynasty is what we're looking for. We're looking at a guy that we can pull off our bench as our wide receiver 6, 7, 8, that when attrition happens, when those bye weeks hit, that we can rely on some of those spike weeks. We put him in our lineup, and then there's a chance he could win our week for us. He's not going to give us ho-hum production. He's not going to give us those baseline wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 production metrics. He has the chance to shoot for the moon. He has one wide receiver 1 week on his career. I know that. But we're in a different situation here. We have a guy that can get downfield, get those deep targets, and has the chance to hit for us on any given week. And we're not putting him in our lineups every week. We're not paying a 1st-round rookie pick for this dude. We're paying change. We're paying the change out of these couch cushions. We're just digging it up, and we're just tossing it at Tim Patrick, saying, hey, come to our Dynasty team. Be my wide receiver 8. You know, you may get a start here and there. I might get to use you here and there. He might give us a return on the investment where we can sell him off for a 2nd-round rookie pick, 3rd-round rookie pick. Who knows? But with him being free, and I feel like his value is at best on the trade market because where he's being drafted, there are some rookies that you may want to go with, some younger guys. But on the trade market, in Dynasty, when I look through this DLF Trade Finder, I see a guy here that has some potential that can be a solid get for our back end of the roster here that can help out our teams. And if you know what, if he starts giving us a good return on the investment, we can always flip him, get us another dude off the waiver wire, keep things moving and keep adding capital. That's what it's all about. And I get it, he's 28 years old, but he's also wide receiver 71, and we can get him for cheaper than wide receiver 71 off the market. So age doesn't really matter here. If he does fall off a cliff, guess what? We can cut bait, move on to the next wide receiver off the waiver wire. He's not going to be a roster clogger for our dynasty teams, which is big, which is a big thing. Roster cloggers suck because you're sitting there with this guy who you're hoping hits, and you know you can't put him on waivers because there is some potential there. He's younger. He's just not hitting. It's just not working out. But maybe it works out. If something happens to Tim Patrick, say he gets 29, 30 years old, 2 years down the line, and we know there's other prospects we want, he's only getting us 8 fantasy points per game, no loss there. We return him to the waiver wire and we move on. And that sunk cost, that sunk value, that sunk perception is a value because that allows us to turn that back into the roster. Turning out the back end of the roster is huge in Dynasty. Whether you're either moving Tim Patrick or whatever piece this is up for draft picks, 4th rounders, 3rd rounders, 2nd rounders, packaging up, whatever you're doing, you don't have to worry about the sunk cost on the potential. It's glorious. You can just cut bait, move on to another guy you want off waivers, move on to another guy you want off the trade market. Say you want to do a 2-for-1 and you can move off the roster. You cut bait on that last wide receiver, you're good to go. But with Tim Patrick, though, we got a guy that we can use this year, and he'll be like our wide receiver 8. So when attrition does happen, it's going to happen to most of us. It's going to happen to most of our leagues. It does every year. We have a solid guy here who's getting usage, who's got a good quarterback. We could see a little bit of upside. We could see him have some flash weeks. Those flash weeks are what we want to bang on. Those wide receiver 8s, wide receiver 7s, when you put them in the lineup, it's not too exciting. It's not. So you kind of want a guy that you know has the chance to boom for you, to help you win. And I get it, you may not even need to put them in your lineup at all this year. And if that happens, that's a great season. You don't have to rely on your back-end wide receivers. That's a good year. But you just spent nothing for them. Change out the old couch cushions, and you have a good insurance policy to get you through the year, especially if you're in the hunt, middle-of-the-road team, or a contender for the championship. Whatever you are, a good patch-up wide receiver, a good insurance policy with some good upside here is something you want to bang your drum on. There's also KJ Hamler in this offense. I have not forgotten about him. I'm buying Broncos. I'm buying Russell Wilson. I'm buying the Mile High Coors Field and hoping things go gangbusters. And Tim Patrick's one of my buys. KJ Hamler's a little cheaper. You can get him too. But my main goal here is just to churn out the back end of the roster, trying to get good pieces and try to make sure my team is ready to go once the season starts, especially when I get the deep portion of this year's rookie draft. This year's rookie draft isn't that great. 3rd round, 4th round, pretty skeptical, pretty dicey. So Tim Patrick's a guy you can look for to spend those late picks on once your guys are gone out of those later round picks. Some of our rookie drafts are in the 5th and 6th round. You might be able to get them for some of those picks in some leagues. I'm seeing them go for pennies on the trade finder. And some leagues, some managers are not valuing them. Some guys, as if the guys in these comments here in my videos, they value him. Just depends on what your league's like. But you don't know unless you take that chance, put in that offer. Maybe you can get him for a 5th round rookie pick. Maybe they're like, Jerry Judy's back, Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler, draft's coming, I'm worried. Maybe you can get him for a 5th. 5th round rookie picks mean free. Free player on your team that could be an insurance policy for you. 5th round rookie picks don't hit. 4th round rookie picks don't really hit. Go get Tim Patrick now if you want to get him because he's going for a song. I want to thank you for watching the show, sticking with me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Every subscription matters. It fuels me to keep pumping out this content. And you don't want to miss out on this show because someone in your league is going to start watching. They're going to start leveling up. They're going to level up their process. And next thing you know, you got another contender to deal with. And you missed out by not hitting that subscribe button. And then I'll be shame on you. But again, I want to thank you, and I'll catch you next time.